Good morning, grade 3s. Let's take a look at your homework from Friday. So I asked you to take the question 3 times 4 equals 12 and show me the 4 different ways that I've taught you to show multiplication. The first one is the number line. The first number tells us how many jumps, 1, 2, 3 jumps. The second number shows us how we skip count, in this case by 4. 4, 8, and 12 is where we end up. Next, we're looking at equal groups. The first number is how many objects are in each group. In this case, there are 3 stars in each oval. The second number shows how many groups we have. So as you can see, there are 4 ovals holding the groups of 3. And if we were to count by 3s, which I'm sure you all know by now, 3, 6, 9, 12 stars. Looking at arrays. The first number is how many rows, 1, 2, 3. The second number is how many columns, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if we were to count each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Finally, repeated addition. The first number is the number which you add repeatedly. The second number is how many times you repeat it. So we have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which will equal to 12. Now today, we are beginning to start on division. And the way that I want to introduce that concept is to start with our fact families. Now, a fact family is a group of math sentences that all relate to each other, just the way families are related to each other in real life. So you'll notice that we have multiplication and division. The reason for that is that multiplication and division are very closely linked, which you will see here in just a moment. I've used the question from your homework, 3 times 4 equals 12, and I've put the array underneath so that we can see what that looks like. Now next to that, I've got the array 4 times 3 equals 12. I should say the question. And I've got an array underneath it. Now I'm just going to show you something briefly. If I turn this on its side, you'll notice it's the exact same array as the first question. So I didn't add or take away any blue circles. There are still 12 circles there. But if you'll look, we have 4 rows according to our rules and 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, and we still get the answer 12. So this is an important fact to know about multiplication, is that if you switch the 2 numbers, you will still get the same answer. This can be really helpful if, for example, you remember how to count by 3s but not by 4s. You can just switch the numbers and you can multiply them that way. Now, as to how this relates to division, division comes from the word divide, and I think that you're familiar with the word divide. That just means to make things into smaller pieces or groups. So if I were to divide the class into groups, I would split you up into smaller groups to do your work. And of course, you would work very hard and not talk at all or fight even a little bit, right? So what happens then when you are dividing is you are making smaller groups, but they all have to be the exact same groups. So 12 divided by 4, this sign here means divide. So we're going to divide, we're going to make groups of 4, and the answer will be how many groups we have. So you can see the answer here is 3. Let's try that out and let's see if that's what we get. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make a very messy circle-ish thing around them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our other group. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we take a look here then, the number of groups I've made is 1, 2, I apologize for the terrible writing, and 3. And that is how we get the answer of 3. Now we read this 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Now let's take a look at this one over here. We have 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So as you can see, this one was divided by 4, this one's divided by 3. So now we're making groups of 3 instead of groups of 4. And using this array can be really helpful for that because we have them in groups of 3 already. Each row has 3 in it. So let's start making some circles. 1, 2, 3 in this group. Let's make another group of 3 here. We have enough to make another group, and look at that, we've got exactly 3 left to make one more group. So what we have then is 1, 2, 3, and 4 groups, which matches our answer here. So as you can see, multiplication and division are very closely related to each other. I'm going to stop the video there and let you think about that idea. Here is your homework. We're going to keep practicing multiplication because remember, the more you practice something, the easier it is to do it on your own. So please try these questions out. Use the finger method, or if you prefer one of the other ways of showing multiplication, the repeated addition, the arrays, use another method if that's the way it works for you. Eventually, I'd like you to have these memorized, but for now, use any method I've taught you to find the answers, and you can check them out tomorrow. Have a great day.